There is no hunting like the hunting of man, and those who have hunted armed men long enough and liked it never care for anything else thereafter. There is nothing to writing. All you do is sit down at a typewriter and bleed. Courage is grace under pressure. Always do sober what you said you'd do drunk. That will teach you to keep your mouth shut. The world breaks everyone, and afterwards some are strong at the broken places. There is nothing noble in being superior to your fellow men. True nobility lies in being superior to your former self. Never go on trips with anyone you do not love. I like to listen. I have learned a great deal from listening carefully. Most people never listen. Every man's life ends the same way. It is only the details of how he lived and how he died that distinguish one man from another. There is no friend as loyal as a book. You're beautiful like a mayfly. The first panacea for a mismanaged nation is inflation of the currency. The second is war. Both bring a temporary prosperity. Both bring a permanent ruin. But both are the refuge of political and economic opportunists. The world is a fine place and worth the fighting for, and I hate very much to leave it. Never think that war, no matter how necessary nor how justified, is not a crime. We are all apprentices in a craft where no one ever becomes a master. I learned never to empty the well of my writing, but always to stop when there was still something there in the deep part of the well, and let it refill at night from the springs that fed it. Madame, all stories, if continued far enough, end in death, and he is no true storyteller who would keep that from you. Once we have a war, there is only one thing to do. It must be won, for defeat brings worse things than any that can ever happen in war. I know now that there is no one thing that is true. It is all true. From things that have happened, and from things as they exist, and from all things that you know and all those you cannot know, you make something through your invention that is not a representation, but a whole new thing, truer than anything true and alive, and you make it alive. And if you make it well enough, you give it immortality. As you get older, it is harder to have heroes, but it is sort of necessary. If you have a success, you have it for the wrong reasons. If you become popular, it is always because of the worst aspects of your work. They wrote in the old days that it is sweet and fitting to die for one's country. But in modern war, there is nothing sweet nor fitting in your dying. You will die like a dog for no good reason. A writer of fiction is really a congenital liar who invents from his own knowledge or that of other men. All my life, I've looked at words as though I were seeing them for the first time. All good books have one thing in common. They are truer than if they had really happened. I love to go to the zoo, but not on Sunday. I don't like to see the people making fun of the animals when it should be the other way around. If a writer knows enough about what he is writing about, he may omit things that he knows. The dignity of movement of an iceberg is due to only 1/9 of it being above water. Man is not made for defeat. But man is not made for defeat. A man can be destroyed but not defeated. The best way to find out if you can trust somebody is to trust them. When you go to war as a boy, you have a great illusion of immortality. Other people get killed, not you. Then, when you are badly wounded the first time, you lose that illusion and you know it can happen to you. An intelligent man is sometimes forced to be drunk to spend time with his fools. There is no lonelier man in death except the suicide than that man who has lived many years with a good wife and then outlived her. If two people love each other, there can be no happy end to it. I love sleep. My life has the tendency to fall apart when I'm awake, you know? Happiness in intelligent people is the rarest thing I know. Time is the least thing we have of. Never mistake motion for action. The shortest answer is doing the thing. Hesitation increases in relation to risk in equal proportion to age. When people talk, listen completely. Most people never listen. I wake up in the morning and my mind starts making sentences, and I have to get rid of them fast. Talk them or write them down. All things truly wicked start from innocence. If you are lucky enough to have lived in Paris as a young man, then wherever you go for the rest of your life, it stays with you, for Paris is a movable feast. The only thing that could spoil a day was people. People were always the limiters of happiness, except for the very few that were as good as spring itself. To be a successful father, there's one absolute rule. When you have a kid, don't look at it for the first 2 years. For a long time now, I have tried simply to write the best I can. Sometimes I have good luck and write better than I can. About morals, I know only that what is moral is what you feel good after, and what is immoral is what you feel bad after. Bullfighting is the only art in which the artist is in danger of death, and in which the degree of brilliance in the performance is left to the fighter's honor. It's none of their business that you have to learn how to write. Let them think you were born that way. No weapon has ever settled a moral problem. It can impose a solution, but it cannot guarantee it to be a just one. Fear of death increases in exact proportion to increase in wealth. That is what we are supposed to do when we are at our best, make it all up, but make it up so truly that later it will happen that way. There is no rule on how to write. Sometimes it comes easily and perfectly. Sometimes it's like drilling rock and then blasting it out with charges. Writing and travel broaden your ass, if not your mind, and I like to write standing up.